Welcome to the United States of America. Today I'm here all by myself on a cornfield outside of Peoria, Illinois. And if you want to know why I'm standing here, you can of course always click the subscribe button to see all the future videos here on Bussmagasinet. But now I will tell you that we are going to test drive the vehicle behind me. This is the Mci J4500. Welcome on board.
Welcome on board in the Mci J4500. This is a coach from 2020 and now I want to take it on the road. I really want to feel how it is, and to be honest, this is one of our first time to drive on a public road in the United States. This is not as easy as back in Norway, where I have a key to turn around and then start the engine. Here you have to do a couple of things. First of all, you have to have the emergency blinkers on. This is to warn people if there are back in the engine compartment or someone else are around the bus, so they know that something will happen. So the second one is to turn the ignition on, let that run for a couple of seconds so you can see everything is coming up on display. This have a digital display, so you can see more or less everything that you need to know. And the last thing you do is to push the start button, and the sound is nice. So if you're just starting this up in the morning, you need air to the brakes, so you have a button that you can press and you get high idle. And also this is a little bit different from Europe. In Europe you use the cruise control handle to raise the idle if you need. Here you have a button for that. So let's buckle up and put it in gear. The handbrake on this one is not as I am used to. Normally I lift the handle, take it to the front. Here I have to push it, and you have to push it hard. Now we are ready. Turn off the emergency light. And in the States, most of the coaches and trucks, they have automatic gearbox. Normally it's the Allison B500 that is connected to the engine. The same on this coach. They have been trying out the ZF S-Tronic in the past, but the driver didn't feel comfortable with it. So they went back again to the Allison full automatic gearbox. So now we are driving on the countryside. The coach is really easy to handle. You have a good feeling on the road. We have been talking about this so many times that we really want to take not a brand new coach out on the road, but maybe one that have been used for a couple of years. And this is the right one. These have 152,000 miles on the chassis and have been running all over the United States. That gives us a good feeling how the coach will behave after a couple of years. Back in the rear of the coach you have the engine, and it's a Cummins IXX12, 400 horsepower, connected to the Allison B500 6-speed full automatic gearbox. So it gives a really good kick when you start driving, and it feels very smooth. It's handling very nice, and every gear shift is really soft. So I like it even if it had running under 152,000 miles. And one thing I really like, it's soft. It's like an American car. The only thing that you have to know that the road that we are driving on now is really bad. This is a typical countryside road, but still as a driver I feel high grade of comfort. It's quite easy to get around the corner, even if this is 45-foot long coach and 3 axle. The third axle on this bus is a passive steering. It means that it's following the bus around the corner, but it's not connected to the steering wheel. So when you turn it, standing still and turn it, it will not follow you. But it makes the whole bus quite stable when you drive on side roads like this and also the highway. The view from the driver position is quite good. Another thing, I can see that I have a pillar coming up here from the A to the B pillar. So it takes away a little bit of the view from the side. You have a very small window to open. As all the coaches in the United States, they have split window in the front with standing window wipers and also a pillar splitting the window in two. But for me, I have been driving buses from the 70s and 80s in Europe where you have the split window. I'm quite used to it. But it is cheaper to maintain the bus when you have a split window. You don't have to buy the whole window, you buy part of it, one side or the other side. That's of course save money. Now I have been driving this for a couple of miles, and I will say that this is a little bit old-fashioned in the driver's area. You can see that the buttons is a little bit old-fashioned. It's a digital instrument, of course, but that's all. The rest is like, yeah, for me it looks like it's 10 years old. But I have everything where I want it. I have the panel for the gearbox over here. I have the handbrake where I need it. One thing I realized that if I want to use the turn signal to the right or to the left, I have to move my hand from the steering wheel and down and then push it. So it's a little bit far away from the driver position. So if you want to really feel that you are sitting comfortable, normally you use only a finger to touch it, but you cannot on this one. Another thing I can see that you don't have the retarder where you normally find it with a handle. You have it as a push button on top of the steering, like a multifunctional steering wheel. So you can choose 1, 2 or 3 steps and also off. And on the other side you have the cruise control. You set it, it's on and off, cancel or go back to the position you had it before you stopped.
Here I'm entering a ballroom hall. There is this turning staircase. It feels like I'm entering a castle or something with nice staircases. This we don't see in Europe, and I absolutely love it because you have a total flat floor in this coach. So there is no leaning floor like we have in some coaches, or there is no aisle with a lowered aisle in the middle. Here everything is flat, so you need the more steps. So that's why MCI and also other American coach builders built this beautiful staircases to enter the coach. But one thing you don't get with this little kind of solution is the guide seat. And also here they uses the drivers much more to be guides. We have been experienced that the drivers are like cheering up people, talking a lot, introducing. So here you are not only a coach driver, you're also working as an entertainer, guide, professional bus driver, as a mechanic, as everything. You do a lot more, you have more responsibility. I think also they have fun with that, but in Europe we are used to having a guide helping you out with all the practice around the driver. If there will be a tour guide on the buses, they will sit in the front seat. And also one thing we also can see back in Europe is the driver's door, and that has never been present on an American coach. Welcome to the passenger area of this Mci 4500. And now I'm seated in one of the seats quite in the middle of the coach, and I'm having great space here for my legs. I have good view because the seats are quite short. I'm also very tall, so that gives me a good view in the front of the coach. The seat in itself, it's the comfort I need for a short and nice ride, but I'm not sure how much I would like this comfort if I was supposed to sit here for 10 or maybe 12, 14, 16, 20 hours, because here in the US it's long distances, and I feel like the comfort maybe could have been even a little bit better to go for super duper far distances. But for shuttles and for airport transfers, for small sightseeings, this is perfect because I have my leg room, everything I need. I do have this little pouch here I can leave stuff in. I do have a bottle holder. I also have a leg rest. I do have charger both for the 110 volt system and the USB, and I also have adjustable neck rest. Not bad. Doesn't go so high up, but it's enough to make me as a tall guy a little bit more comfortable leaned back. Of course, 3-point seat belt. I even have an armrest here on the inside to the wall, but no armrest here in the middle. Of course, the other seat also have an armrest, and I can also lean the seat backwards quite a bit actually. So now, oh, it goes also automatically up. So now I sit quite comfortable when I take the seat a little bit back. And now I'm leaning my arm at one of the emergency exits here on this coach. And here you have several emergency exits. Almost every window in this coach is an emergency exit. Not in the front and not in the back. You just lift up this handle, I will not try it now, push out the window, and you jump out. So if the emergency isn't very big and you can still use the coach after the accident, you don't have to crash the whole window and replace it to start running the bus again. You just close the window and continue your journey. When I'm sitting here, I'm feeling like I'm in a very modern coach if I look on the upper part of the coach, but I feel like I'm in a very old coach when I look at the seat interior, the color choices, and also this panel here. Here I do have fresh air, I have some lights in the roof. It's very square, it's very simple, it's very easy. It doesn't add on to any of the design of the coach, and also the seats are very simply an old-fashioned design. We skipped this design for many years ago in Europe with this small neck rests. But what they do have in this coach, which is super modern, is the ceiling. It looks like the brand new airplane from one of the most modern airline factories. It's cool lighting systems, it's innovative, nice lines, it looks really good. And then you have the seat. I feel they are a little bit old-fashioned. The same with the screens. They look like a little bit bigger cell phone screens. They are super small, at least they have many of them, so that you can actually look at them when you're sitting in your seat. Other than that, I feel like it's quiet in here. I feel it's comfortable. In general, I like being a passenger here on the coach, but I do want to see a little bit upgrade from many of the design solutions here. But now, let's go back and take a little look at the toilet. When you enter the bus, it almost looks like the coach is a little bit shorter, but it's not, because the toilet here is built in the coach. So here you have almost a whole back wall here as a toilet, and some coaches do use the whole back wall, but here there are actually also two back seats of the coach. And here we go. Easy, convenient, looks very nice. It's everything you need, but what you don't have there is a sink for fresh water. It's only a dispenser for the alcoholic gel for the fingers. And of course, I can't be in this beautiful coach without also trying the Mci on the American roads. And here we are in the middle of nowhere. I feel we are close to a city, but we are now on the road in beautiful deserted areas. Here is very much growing in the summertime. Now it's just completely dead. It's winter, so that's how it is. But the first thing I have to say, oh my god, the mirrors are so hard to operate with. This is zoomed in 48 times. I'm so sorry to be like this, guys, but American people, how can you drive with these mirrors? I can see every screw of the back wheel on the third axle, but I have no idea what's happening from the third axle until my hip here in the front. And this is not Mci's fault, this is how they spec coaches in the US. I just did a turn, I can't do this. This turn is too horrifying. It is nothing to hit, but I felt like I was hitting Rocky Mountains down there with my back corner. Otherwise than that, I find the driver comfort is quite good. To adjust the steering wheel, there is a handle down to my left. If I pull it towards me, I'm able to lift it up and down, and if I push it, then I will be able to telescope. So I do have some adjustment possibilities. I would probably like to have a little bit more, but again, it absolutely works. Find your position, you're ready, set, hit the road. Oh, and jumping into the position. To conclude this Mci, I think it's a very great coach for the American market. It's been built for years. It is a popular vehicle, and they really know how to get their customers. The customers rebuys them, and it's crazy how long these vehicles are rolling. They're rolling up to 1.5 million miles. That's equivalent of about 2 million kilometers. This we did in Europe as well for many years ago, but now we are just throwing away the coaches after 3 years, we sell them somewhere, we buy something new. I really like how they are actually using their coaches to the maximum. They are rebuilding them, they are fixing them, they are brushing them up, they are making them work for a long, long lifetime. But still, I know that this is a coach that is now already 3-4 years old, but I would like to see a little bit more modern interior. The driver compartment is a little bit old and the seat design also look a little bit old. But I love the ceiling, I love the functions, the staircase down here. So I think this is a really, really great coach, and I hope that MCI want to invite us to their factory plant so we can come and look at the solutions, take a look at the coaches, and also get to talk and get to know the manufacturers and the brands over here. We are from Europe, but we are highly interested in the American market, and we will love to get to know you even better, to make more videos, and to see you soon back here in the US. Thank you so much for watching the video here today, and if you like our content and what you see here now, please press the button, it's called subscribe, and then you will see all the future videos here on Bussmagasinet, both from Europe but also here from America. Until then, have a great day, drive safely.